Hello, welcome to another video on the Scouring Early Access. Today's match is going to be a 3v3 game. My team is going to be me, the perfect gamer, hard AI ally, and I'm one of assess. And against me is going to be ADKI, Ninja Code, and Guy McDonald. Alright, we spawn these positions. Enemy spawn on the bottom right. We are spawned as a Cyan Orc player. And I pretty much do the archer build order. Here, this is my purple AI ally. And so, yeah. Sometimes pretty useless. But I guess it's some kind of meat shield, you could say. And here the white player playing as orc is amount of assess, and he's also doing an archer build order. Over here the blue player, EDKI, is playing as the orcs, and he did a double barracks build order. It's gonna allow him to produce all the warriors. But you do need starting wood, which is why you had all of these workers trying to chop some wood. And with this build order, you need to kill a lot of units on the map to keep up the production of your barracks. Because with only workers, you're not going to have enough gold to constantly produce from both barracks. And over here, the orange player, Dunchi Code. He is doing a warrior build order. I guess sometime later he's going to be making all the archers, because he didn't have his Ogden camp build relatively quickly. We have a final enemy, the Black Orc. Guy McDonald playing as Black Orcs. He's doing a warrior build order, but he's more of a newer player. Maybe it's his first time playing a PvP game. So that's how we managed to balance it out. It's basically similar skill level to a hard AI. Anyways, here I was just getting some XP from some wolves. And when there's one left, I just decide to clear out this base and these goblins here. That way I can get us another base to allow me to have a bigger economy, which would be a good advantage in the later part of the game if I don't get rushed by a lot of players. But of course, unfortunately, my white ally is going to be the one on the receiving end of this rush by the blue and orange players. And here I notice it someone quickly. I try to send every single archer I have so I could help them as the best I possibly can, I guess. But it's not looking great. My ally pretty much lost a lot of archers. He's losing his barracks. Or he was about to, but I did come in time to help him out. So it's not going to be falling just yet. But the blue player is being very annoying. He's doing this very effective strategy, which is where you destroy the houses of enemies' farms, which basically deletes them. And so each farm is roughly 300 resources, so pretty much half a barracks amount, which now my ally has to rebuild if he wants to somehow I guess, still be in the game, which is going to be very difficult with all these few amount of workers. And I guess here I thought my ally was fine to defend himself, but I guess that was a bit of a mistake. And I should have actually left some archers there to help him out. Because we can see he doesn't have any food, so he's going to be having trouble with these skeletons. It's what unfortunate that I did a big mistake by not helping him. I guess I cleared these wolves. Only now I noticed that his barracks is about to break. So I try to send my archers to try and save it. But it's sort of too late. But my ally could have actually saved his barracks by running away. Which would aggro all these skeletons to try and kill his archer. Which would allow his barracks to stay untouched for a little bit. So my ally is alive, but he's pretty much dead. And here the armies of the enemies just keep growing. So it's not looking great for my ally. But I guess over here my ally asked to go and kill another player. Instead of just sitting in his base. Which is what I tried to do. But unfortunately, I missed the two armies of my enemies here. So now I'm kind of stuck here in a bad position. And so now I'm going to be losing the rest of these archers here. But I guess I do try to trade a few archers. So it's not all just pure losses. There's these archers, and I guess these archers somehow managed to kill an extra warrior, but they also go down. And now the game looks very unwinnable, because my ally is dead, and my AI ally is very useless, so it's pretty much 1v3 now. But I guess the only saving hope I have is that I get a second base. It's gonna allow me to have a pretty good economy, you could say. So here I tried to get a muncher cave. And I try to save up to try and get a fast citadel. So I can get the rage as fast as possible. Because without rage, I'm kind of dead. So that's how I was trying to get the rage. And here I guess I was just trying to see where the enemies were at. Tried to see if I could go in here and kill some workers. But I saw that the enemies were kind of close. And if they decided to go into my base, then I would die. Which is why I decided to go home and try and defend. I guess, because I can't really do anything else. So I do get archer damage. Should be helpful, but there's like a whole lot of enemies, so it's not going to be that much of a help, but I guess it's better than nothing. I'm getting another barracks. And I'm just making munchers. Here I put workers up here because I didn't know if they're going to attack on top here while I was fighting them on the left here. And of course my purple AI ally had to feed his units. Which is pretty much what AI is good for. Just feeding the enemy XP and gold. But somehow, not really sure why, the enemies decide to wait instead of attacking right now, which they could have done. And I would lose all the units and all the economy. It'll be very hard for me to come back into the game, you could say. So you're just trying to see if they're still sieging me here. Just blocking me in here in my own base. Here I got the worker upgrade. Just gonna give me all the extra supply, which I can use to make a lot more munchers. It's pretty useful. You don't have really that much space. Your base, you can't really go outside, so that was a very helpful upgrade. Over here, the blue bar decides to bully the AI. Maybe get some levels. Not really sure why. But I guess he is getting some gold and some XP, so it's always useful to do. But here I saw that my meat shield was being kind of attacked. And eventually the AI could surrender, so I decided to try and help. And with a group of archers and munchers, I managed to take out all this blue army here. Roughly 6 munchers, which is a good amount. I could say it's around maybe like 1,300 resources, which is very substantial. Especially if you're only on one base with 8 workers. So that's why you want to get 2 base economy before mass producing all the munchers. And enemies are still not attacking. But this orange player does begin sieging me with actual cannons. And here I saw the bike player was running around here, but I didn't have a lot of munchers. Then I made some more. I tried to run down this army again, but he managed to just run over here. So the enemies are sieging me. But the right decision is to try and hold out as long as possible, where you don't have to engage with their army, which is pretty much going to be buying me all the time, which I can use to get the rage, which I already got. And I made all the potion crates, which is going to give me all the potions, which are going to be very useful at this exact moment when the enemy decides to attack. But I guess they didn't expect me to have raged munchers. You can see how extremely effective this army is, that I was able to just run it down and lose very few units myself. And I even made a few warriors to block the cannon shots, to allow my archers to snipe any enemy cannons. But of course, in the meantime, the enemy blooper decides to believe the purple AI. Which allows me to destroy this, yes, these buildings here, which allows me to move out on the map. Here, have a new player, I guess, still getting used to the undead script. So here he loses his town hall. And here, research for pillage, which is going to be pretty nice when breaking enemy buildings. But of course, you can see I just easily ran down this whole army. I didn't even lose a single muncher. Alright, so that's feel a little bad killing a new player. He doesn't even know they can research peasant bows, but it's a 1v3, so can't really show mercy at this point. You know, it's pretty much just producing on the munchers. Trying to get a few warlocks. Here, punch this town hall. But I saw there were some reinforcements here, so I decided to just run away. Even though I could have probably destroyed this and then running away from here. I guess here I was too busy macroing, making units and warlocks, other things. Kind of forgot my units were here, so now I had to somehow squeeze through here and try and run back to my own base. Which we can see is a little unfortunate for me, because I lose about 4 munchers that I shouldn't have lost, which is about 1,000 resources, so it's not great. And now I guess I have a third barracks, which can allow me to produce even more munchers. And all the gold I can get from all the kills and all the buildings I punch allows me to make a lot of potion crates, which can allow me to have a very powerful army. You can see pretty much all my units have potions. Except archers, of course, and warlocks. They can't hold any potions. And so here pretty much I have a very big army. And I guess I decide to attack the orange player next. Or at least kill his army. Because I saw that the black player was having trouble playing the game, so he wouldn't be really much of a threat. And here I managed to catch quite a few archers. Maybe around 10. And here I poisoned the enemy player's munchers. Which is a very devastating ability, which can lower the health of your enemies to 1/3 of their starting health. Which you can see is very effective at destroying his army. Which is why you want to make a few warlocks. You play as orcs, because even a single or 2 or 3 death clouds, the poison ability, as I call it, can change the tide of battle very effectively. And here I saw the black player had all the units here, which directly means that he has no more units in his main base, which is why I decided to attack his base. But of course, I guess he probably doesn't know about the bow ability, which is a little unfortunate for him. And here I bring my reinforcements for warriors, which are very effective at attacking very defensive positions with cannons or archers or workers with bows. So here I place a very disgusting poison, you can see, which forces all my enemy archers to run away or to stand and die. So here pretty much the bike player is dead. Here I try to expand, but of course blue managed to find my cannons here. And then it's going to be destroying this base. It's pretty annoying because I was pretty ready to attack the orange player next. I guess I was a little too busy macroing. I kind of didn't pay attention to catch his munchers properly. And the blue player got the rage, so he actually has a good chance at fighting me. And these angry archers are extremely effective. They pretty much do similar damage to an angry muncher, but only with archer upgrade. It scales to that exact similar attack value, you could say. But of course, archers can't really do anything. There's one group of fat munchers. They're going to be running them down. So I was able to just entirely destroy this big army. Which leaves me with a lot of gold. Which is why I made even more barracks. And I was kind of struggling for wood, so I made another logging camp here. Closer to some trees, which is going to allow me to have proper wood income. Here, my main base right out, so I decided to get another base, while in the meantime attacking the enemies. You can see these disgusting poisons basically melt away the enemy's army. On top of my munchers doing very heavy damage to them. Over here we can see also bombarding the enemy, which is very disgusting because it's so effective against clumped up units. But I also make a group of warriors because they're also pretty good. And I guess destabilizing all the cannons. But here this is sort of funny. I saw most of the defenses around here, so I send in my munchers into the orange player's main base to try and kill his workers, which I did. And I guess to just annoy him pretty much. But here you can see my warriors begin climbing. And when you have warriors down, enemy has very little chance at fighting back. And of course with warrior and artillery combo, it's just undefendable, you could say. Because munchers are good, but they're only most effective in a battlefield where there's no buildings. But warriors and cannons are extremely effective against very defensive positions. Which is why I have a mix of units. and each of them can fulfill their role, you could say. But these units are slower, which is why I need these faster munchers to defend them. So I just keep on attacking. Just might as well. Because I'm just printing so many units here that I'm having trouble with running out of gold. On top of me breaking buildings, which gives me a lot of gold. There are some devastating shots here. And I guess the orange player knew that he couldn't really do much at this point. And blue player is trying to fight back, but doesn't really have much left. Just a few warriors and a few cannons. Just a little bit of muncher production. But as you can see, my AI is a little useless. Just doing its own thing. Not really helping in attacking. So it'd be cool to get a more difficult AI in the game. Here my reinforcements arrive. A lot of munchers. And so now I'm pretty much ready to do my final assault against the enemy. On this final building here. I guess he wanted to make it in his allies' base. I just forgot my worries here. And here just target fired his cannons. Because the rest of these units are not going to be able to do much. Especially these warriors can't do anything. Because these wargs can just eat them with their lifesteal ability. There you have it. It's a bit of an interesting game where I managed to, I guess, win a 1v3 position. And here you can see how, I guess, vast the kill-death ratio is between me and my enemies. Because I was able to rush out the rage munchers, which allowed me to pretty much dominate the open fields, which then gave me map control to allow me to get more resources, which then allowed me to get warriors and the cannons, and just even more muncher production, which then allows you to attack very defensive positions very effectively. You're very, I guess, effective units. Anyways, if you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see more videos on the Scouring Early Access, then you can subscribe. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.